because you're doing a seminar.
Yep.
And what's the next seminar?
February the 11th at the Langley Event Center.
Okay. Now that's where the casino is, isn't it?
I don't know. Never been there.
Don't know. Okay.
Never seen the place.
I think that's the event center is where the casino is.
There's a room in there that has 500 seats.
Well,
that's
I think that's at the casino because the big hotel is attached to that. I think it's a Coast Hotel.
Never been in there.
Been there. Well, we did a seminar there last year with Tom Allen, if you remember Tom. So you've got that's a seminar, and that's free. What are we going to talk about? Ozzie Jurock's going to talk.
Well, we're going to have Ozzie Jurock talk about real estate. We're going to talk about how real estate fits into your estate. We're going to talk about estate planning. We're going to talk about the fact that when you die, you're deemed to have sold everything you own at fair market value. That's the good old deemed disposition. A fellow in my office today that we calculated that if he dies, his estate is going to have to cough up about $1 million in tax.
That's big money.
So we set up a life insurance policy for him that will provide the $1 million tax-free to pay the taxes on the estate. Joint last to die policy, so that he dies, nothing happens, she dies, nothing happens. But when both of them pass away, then the tax has to be paid. The government will come in and say, well, let's see, you claimed $200,000 capital cost allowance. We're going to claw that back. You made a capital gain of $2 million, so we're going to tax you on that. Your RSP's got $300,000 in it. Let's see, we're going to charge you $150,000 tax on your RSP. You get taken to the cleaners for crying out loud, okay? So what do? And we're talking all the time to hundreds of thousands of people on the radio and elsewhere about this problem. And most of them are wandering around in the fog, and they don't even know they have the problem.
Oblivious to it is a good way to describe it. Richard, can I get you to pass me that book that's underneath the Sarah Palin, her rogue book?
You're reading up on Sarah these days?
Well, you know, I'm always a contrarian, and I really like Sarah.
You know something? I think she's neat.
I do, too.
Okay.
We agree on something.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't always agree, but we do it on a friendly basis. I don't know. This is Ozzie's newest book.
Yeah.
And he had the other one, Forget About Locations around here somewhere. This is the newest one, came out in December. And what he did was he got 55 people to write a chapter.
That's a good plan.
I'm one of the chapters in there. I think I'm 282 or some such thing. So you want to learn about the U.S.-Canadian part of it. But this is a book about buying real estate and something that if you want to pick, I don't even know how much, even though I got a chapter in it and so on, I don't even know how much it is. It's likely $29.95 or something. And if you want to buy it, you can get hold of it at www.jurock.com. That's JUROCK.com. And good book, as I say, particularly the chapter by me, something to look at. And that's one of the things I'm going to say about Fred, because Fred Snyder has been dealing with what American citizens in Canada have to do. You've been doing that on a regular basis. Most financial guys don't have a clue that American citizen Canada has to do special reporting for their RSPs and special reporting for the bank account, their securities accounts, and the mutual funds. And it gets pretty scary.
Hey, it is. It's a terrible situation. You're a U.S. citizen living in Canada, Canadian resident, but a U.S. citizen. You might have lived here most of your life.
39 years old.
And you have an RRSP, and there's many that do.
Yep.
And you don't report it to the U.S. Authorities, which you're supposed to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's taxable, but you don't report it, you've got a big, big problem. What is it?
Well, the penalties can be $10,000 minimum for not reporting in the first place to the Department of Treasury.
Now, if I hear you right, $10,000
minimum to a maximum of $500,000 plus 5 years in jail. But the
so here I am. I'm wandering around in a fog, and I have this RSP. I could be fined that much and even go to jail.
Absolutely. And my record.
What a world we live in. Eh?
The record for I have not personally talked to a single man that is being fined, although I know lots of them. The two ladies that I know who actually I apologize. I have. The two ladies though that I think about the most was a 105-year-old lady who got a $10,000 fine for not reporting just an ordinary Royal Bank of Canada account in the Royal Bank in Edgemont Shopping Centre. And the other one was a 68-year-old lady who got a $60,000 fine.
Wow.
Now, the first lady had approximately $300,000 in the Royal Bank. And the second lady had over $400,000 in RRSPs. And she wasn't living in Canada. She was living in Phoenix, Arizona. And the other person that got a fine, I started saying I don't know a single man, but Jerome Snyder, S-C-H-N-E-I-D-E-R. Now, Fred's name is S-N-Y-D-E-R. No relation, no nothing. You never met Jerome Snyder either, though I know.
I think I did one time.
You might have? Okay.
Yeah.
He had a company called Premier Services, Corporate Services, and they did U.S. and Canadian tax returns very much, and they used a lot of my stuff in their giveaways and seminars and stuff. Anyway, Jerome Snyder originally was being given a fine of $250,000 plus 5 years in jail. He plea bargained it down to $100,000 plus 6 months in jail, which he paid and the time which he served in a U.S. jail.
Wow.
And do you know how he plea bargained himself down from?
No, what did he do? He squealed on somebody else.
Ooh, you got it.
I just figured that out, David.
He gave the names to the Department of Treasury and the IRS of 1,072 clients and other lawyers
These
and
were
accountants.
his clients?
Yes, other lawyers
what a
and
rat.
accountants. Other lawyers and accountants, and they included some well-known movie stars and business people that were all going to Jerome because he was charging $15,000 to $60,000 per client to show them how to hide their money from the U.S. government in offshore accounts and Vanuatu and this type of thing, and set them up with a bank and demystify de-ownership. And you'll remember that, I guess there's two times. There was one in 1996 when we had those guys come in from Ontario that were going to show us how to do offshore accounts.
Oh, no, they were from the States. There was two of them. They were from either North or South Carolina, I remember. I'm trying to think. Bill something other.
Anyway, they wanted you and I to get involved in this kind of stuff.
And I remember
we
you just said this doesn't fly.
No, it won't work.
No.
And am I glad that we didn't do it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
no question.
really glad we didn't do it because I thought it was illegal at the time, but Trump kept on going and made it something to do. So what I'm pleased about is that you know and understand that if somebody is a U.S. One of the questions on your Know Your Client is, are you a U.S. citizen, right?
Citizenship.
Yeah. So if somebody happens to be a U.S. citizen, you know enough to tell them, hey, you got a problem here.
That's right.
And one couple that you told me, that you told on Vancouver Island.
I sent them to you.
That's right. And we caught them all up and so on. That they had actually been to the Snowbirds organization who told them, no, you just have to fill out this form, of which the third statement on is you can't fill out if you're a U.S. citizen. But they filled it out anyway, thought they were home free. So your knowledge, you have made it a point of learning some of this stuff.
Well, every day I learn something anyway. It's not just what I've learned, because as we speak, it changes, it evolves. The rules change, the laws change, the interpretations by the tax people change, and you know that as well as anybody else. And so the future is a moving target. That's an IBM slogan. The future, and it's a good one. The future is a moving target, and indeed it is. So if you're going to look after your future, you have to know where you're at today, and you have to have the knowledge that it takes, and it's the evolving knowledge to keep up with what's happening. And if you don't have that, your chances of success are greatly minimized.
They go down.
Yeah.
Now, if you happen to be watching this live on Wednesday night, January the 13th, you can give us a call, free call, 866-980-0499. That's 866-980-0499. Give us a call. If you're in the Lower Mainland, call us at 980-0321. But if you're down in South Dakota or you're in Hope or Chilliwack or Sorrento, BC, and you're watching, give us a call at 866-980-0499. Now, the seminar that we started talking about, and let me sort of change or start again.